a teacher by profession. I teach chemistry. I'm a professor of chemistry at the university in Florida. I started this initiative a long time ago when I was an undergraduate. I was a sophomore in college. That's when I started, but then it has evolved from the start to what it is today. When we started, we really we had nothing other than just the property. I went to study in America. I worked on campus as a tutor, and I made a little bit of money. And I started with just 2 kids. I got 2 kids from the street, and then I would support them with the money that I was making at school as a tutor, which was probably like $250 a month. So they were living with my mother, and we looked at how well they were growing up and progressing in life, and we got 6 more. At the point, we couldn't really handle them at home. That's when we built the first house to keep them in and raise them in. So from that moment, we started getting more and more, and we just kept it growing. Some of them would graduated. A few went to university, high schools, other to vocational training schools, until when the orphanages closed and we completely transformed this into a school. When I was growing up, I became a Christian, and through my faith, I believed that I was created to do something. I felt that debt to my country that supported me so many years, but at the same time, there are so many things you can do, but this was more like a personal mission to me, or calling to me. Our focus is not how many, but it's rather what we have done to just maybe one person. So so far I would say maybe like 160 have passed through this process. We are in touch with all of them. Of course, they have had a troubled past, and that could be a very big challenge. But what we have done was to shield them from going back to the street, and that's why we are a little bit far from wherever they can go back, or they could go back to the street. We try to train them to love God, try to explain to them how much God loves them. Like for example, we have had a few that are now supporting their families, their extended families, that are paying tuition fees for their siblings. So there has been a really huge transformation in their own lives and their families' lives. When we expanded this into a school, we decided to allow local parents and other people who want to join the school. So we have really like a mixed school that cannot be characterized in any such way, on an economical basis. So for our kids, those vulnerable kids, they don't pay anything. In fact, instead they actually get free education, school material, school supplies. They get an extra help, like family help. We support them in their families, but I would say that everybody who gets accepted gets some financial support. We want to focus more on academics than anything else. Then, of course, we want the school to be self-sufficient, but we also want to make sure that our kids are getting the best education they can. So we just teach the general curriculum that is set by the Ministry of Education. We have teachers from different countries. We have teachers from Uganda, we have teachers from Burundi, we have teachers from Congo, we have teachers from Rwanda. So I think the kids can learn really, really fast, and I think it's actually good for them to have that international exposure. It does help them to open up their critical thinking. They get excited to speak to somebody who does not necessarily speaking Rwanda fluently, but all of our teachers can easily communicate whenever it's needed, but we teach in English. So there have been a few challenges. One is, of course, having to hire teachers from different countries. Our school is fast moving, so we want the kids to be able to embrace everything we have. Like, for example, we want to introduce the usage of technology. For example, we have wireless internet on campus. They can still do things on computers. We do have the rituals that they can access and maybe watch some educational material. But when they get home, then they are almost disconnected. So that's one of the challenge. The other challenge is, of course, we have the tablets that can be used, but since those tablets are in English and sometimes fast American English, they can't yet use them effectively. One of the things that we do here is the different clubs. Like we have a STEM club, we have English club, we have French club, we have sports club, and all those things we want to make sure that the kids get a chance to apply the knowledge they learn from their books, from the classroom, in their real lives. We want to train kids to solve local problems with the knowledge they get from their classrooms at a very early age. I have enjoyed good education when I was here in Rwanda or when I went to study in America. So I want to make sure that that knowledge that I've learned in different places, it can be also accessed by other kids who may not have a chance to travel to America. Street kids are smart. They're really smart kids, but they have also a unique, they have had a unique background that makes their life very complicated. But I have seen that they can completely change from being who they are today to something that is, to the citizens that the country can be proud of, to the people that are contributing to the development of the country. So we're just gonna break the cycle of homelessness. And that's what we've been always targeting. And I would say that all the kids that we are in our care right now, we have about 62 kids that we're currently supporting in different stages of their lives. What the government is doing is great, trying to get those kids to be raised in the families. But I also think that there is a need to work more closely with the parents or with the families that those kids are growing in. Sometimes the family that takes the kids may not be financially equipped to provide what the kids want, or they may not be able to inspire them enough, for example, to go to school. They may not be able to really guide them through life. So I think that it would be really nice to make sure that at least wherever the kid is, there is a way to motivate, inspire, to equip the child so that the child feels really loved and cared for, almost like a 24/7. So it really requires an intense follow-up. We try to provide the support for them, but I wouldn't say that it's enough. More can be done. They love being at school. They get everything they need. They are pretty much they're made almost to forget the problems they go through in life. Maybe they just remember when they go home and realize that things are a little bit different. We used to have all of them here, 24/7. It's a community school where everybody gets a little bit of help. Some of them get full tuition, school material, uniform, food, all of that. Some of them get just partial scholarship. Some of them buy their own uniform, things like that. I'm proud to be Rwandan because wherever you are as a Rwandan, Rwanda has given us dignity. And second of all, I am proud of being able to contribute the little I can to the development of Rwanda. Yes, you are a diaspora member, and you can be an American, you can be a French, you can be whatever you are, but first you are a Rwandan. And I feel it's a must to do everything that you can, wherever you are, to contribute to the homeland, because there is a reason that you were born in that country. And for me personally, I feel that it's like a personal debt to be able to give what I can to the country.